Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. A few days ago, it was Free Comic Book Day. Today's May 6th, and I bought a whole bunch of comics that day. I don't remember exactly what I got. That day was a disaster, to say the least. Okay, so we're gonna go through them, as well as some new books I got. Before this video even gets started, make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, please do not forget to check out my story titled Night of the Horizon. As always, it is linked in the description down below. All right, so I put my comics over there. We'll get to that in just a second. I want to go first, start off by opening this box. Oh, it's a Bridgman anatomy book. Yeah, so I think I watched a video the other day about somebody going over, I think it was by Frank Cho, and he was recommending some books for people who want to become better comic artists or just, artists in general. And everybody always recommends Bridgman, George B. Bridgman. And I recommend him as well. He's actually really dope. I had a book before. It was orange. And I got rid of it. I don't know why, but it was a really great book, though. But Frank Cho specifically, I don't know why my finger's there. Frank Cho specifically recommended this book, and it was green. So I said, all right, I'll get it. And it was on sale as well. So I copped that. I'll be definitely going through that, doing some studies. Another One Piece compendium. Now, I said I wasn't going to buy any more of these, but, I mean, I love these. Like, I still haven't gone through the last one I bought. It's right here. Another compendium added to the list. This was in my cart for a while. Got a One Piece compendium, again, just to kind of fill the gaps and free shipping. And then last but not least, it's the Andrew Loomis Drawing the Head and Hands. I don't know why it's just plastic. You know, I heard these books were pretty rare back then, but now they're always in print. But if you guys aren't familiar with Andrew Loomis, that's where it's the guy who created the Loomis method and whatnot. This one must have been a return. Somebody might have returned this, and they gave me like a return copy because it's in this green plastic. Again, in the video I watched by Frank Cho, he had this book in his hand, and there was another one as well. There was one for anatomy, but I got the Bridgman anatomy book instead, and then decided to go with the heads and hands for Andrew Loomis. All right, so if you guys look here on the bag, you can see where I got the comics from. It's called Brave New World Comics. First time ever being there. I think that's their name anyway. The store was great. I got all these comics on Free Comic Book Day. You're gonna see the free comics in here. The ones that were free, they only limited to like 3 per person, which I thought was weird, so I took 5. Sue me. And then they had the dollar bins outside, and I dug through it. I found some really great stuff. I don't remember all that I got in here, but I know for a fact I got some pretty good stuff. Okay, so I found this One Piece box. I'm gonna put the comics on. Also, I quickly want to say something about One Piece. One Piece is really making me mad right now with its new episodes in AK Part 2. Every single fight we've seen between Luffy and Kizaru has been absolutely awful. I mean, the animation quality, of course, like things look crispy and look clean and bright or that, but it doesn't work though for One Piece. Like, I really don't like Gear 5. Gear 5 really ruins the story. Again, we don't know how Luffy got it. He just gets it. It's basically broken. Even to have Luffy fight Kizaru makes no sense because Luffy already beat Kaido. He's like, whoever he fights afterward would just simply pale in comparison. Luffy has beaten, quote unquote, the strongest man in the verse. So I don't believe that moving forward the story will be that great. Now, of course, I'm caught up to the manga. Luffy having Gear 5 just completely breaks the immersion. Like, I really don't like it. I love One Piece, but it has some serious flaws, and I think Gear 5 is its major flaw because Luffy can't be beat, he can't be touched really. Gear 5 doesn't make any sense. Gear 5 is a pretty useless transformation because like Luffy can already do those things either with Gear 3, 4, and Snake Man. So I don't know, like, what is really the point of Gear 5 if he's just gonna just be a goofball? It's not even like a thing where like Gear 5 is like Super Saiyan 3 where like it gives like a huge boost in power at the cost of like stamina. It does kind of, but Luffy can kind of just beat Gear 5 almost all the time. And there's no special thing he has to do to get it. He can just go into Gear 5, and you always expect him to just use Gear 5. I mean, Oda can choose to put him in Gear 4 or Snake Man like he did the first time, and that's much more entertaining to watch. Or even if he's in base form, the fact that he just goes straight into Gear 5 makes him lame. It ruins the entire experience of the story. And Kizaru too as well. Poorly written, poorly represented character because he's light itself and he's super slow, glint fruit and flying across water and reflecting himself. Like, it was just really bad, you know. And if anything, if Kizaru was gonna be like a morally gray guy, you know, I think he should have been given a different fruit, or at least have him like describe him as like, you know, a person who can't really use the power of light despite having a glint fruit. Write something in that like limits his power. Otherwise, we're just left to believe that he can just pretty much destroy the entire world if he wanted to with the power of light. And Luffy's taking on light as well. He's not even using hockey. It's just terrible. All right, so as you can see here, we have our stack of comics. The first one here being Freeze. They had an I Hate Fairyland comic on display for Free Comic Day. But one thing I hate though about comic shops that I've gone to after my first comic shop, nobody backs and boards anything. You gotta buy them. When I asked him, I said, you know, do you guys have back and board? And he said, yeah, you gotta go inside and pay 40 cents per back and board. So that's 40 cents times maybe like 25 books here. I mean, I don't have the math on top of my head, but you know, that's a lot of extra money I just paid just for the want and need to protect my comic books. Like, this stuff is stupid, man. I love comics, but like the medium though as a whole, I believe is dying. At least where I am. Nobody really respects the art or the hobby of comics at all. So we got I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young, free comic book. We got a Captain America Winter Soldier comic, also free as well. The artwork in here was actually pretty good. Usually these free comic books, the artwork sucks, but that looks pretty good here. I was shocked, which is why I picked it up. We got some Red Skull here. That looks like Daredevil, but I think that's Red Guardian. Mega Man. They got some Mega Man stuff for Free Comic Book Day. Absolutely brilliant. I'm using this a lot. I didn't see the inside, but I never played the Mega Man games, but I mean, like, just look at that. Guys, like, I really, really love cartoon styles in comics. I think it just really works, especially when you combine it with like cartoon violence, like with I Hate Fairyland, just make it super gory and that. But you know, Mega Man looks great. This comic is drawn great. Reminds me of something that I would have read back then as a young bean sprout. It's like another free comic. This is Ultimate Spider-Verse thing. Kelly Romita Jr., huh? So I'm guessing that's John Romita Jr.'s wife or auntie or something. At the comic shop, when I opened up the book, I said that looks a lot like John Romita Jr., but I was with told me that that's not John on the art. It looks a lot like him though, doesn't it? You see like that super blocky style. Like, you can immediately recognize John Romita Jr.'s art because you have like that super blocky style, great storytelling. The free comic books this year have some really great artwork. All right, we're moving on to all the stuff that I got at the dollar bin. Up first, we got a Youngblood #1 yearbook. I have no idea what this is. I don't own anything Youngblood. Didn't really know who they were. I know it's image stuff, but I picked it up because like a lot of stuff I picked up that I thought would be like good to like study, just based on the artwork. You know, this is obviously early to late 90s stuff, so it looks fantastic. So I'm gonna be studying this for the artwork and just looking at it mainly for the artwork and maybe some of the storytelling. But I got a Youngblood #1, pretty cool, pretty dope. I got some Ghost Rider. I did buy Ghost Rider #1. I think it came out like last year. I think it was absolutely horrible. But I love these newsprint comics though. Like, look at that, man. It's freaking dope. That's awesome. Gently going through it, I mean, you can just see just how awesome that looks, man. You got Johnny Blaze here. Also, too, Johnny Blaze is the only Ghost Rider that I believe in. The true spirit of vengeance. I don't care about the current one who's like Mexican or Spanish. Johnny Blaze, and I also too don't care about the cowboy, the Indian, the cosmic Ghost Rider. I don't care about none of that. Johnny Blaze, the Punisher. It looks like we got Daredevil, Captain America, and Punisher on the cover. There was another book there where it was called Punisher's, I believe, Armory. Maybe I should have got it. I don't know if it was worth anything, but it was like, as soon as you open the book, it's just like all what kind of guns Frank Castle uses. And it was just like so boring. So I said, all right, well, let me get something else that's Punisher. And I found this. Again, I love the newspaper print. Dude, I'm telling you, I love superheroes so much. Quasar. I have no idea who this guy is, but Superman. Now, I don't own anything Superman. I really don't. Looking at this makes me not like the Jim Lee Superman at all. Like, how Jim Lee draws Superman is great, but this is Superman for sure. I tell you, I love comics so much. Actually, while we're on the topic of Superman, I noticed a lot of people are copying exactly what I said in my first Superman video about Superman movie being a James Gunn self-insert. A lot of you guys told me I was rage baiting. You guys told me I didn't know what I was talking about. How does it feel now? I'm right. You guys know I'm right, but you won't acknowledge me though. They won't acknowledge me. The fact that I said it first. James Gunn's Superman is a self-insert. You have James Gunn's dog. You have a James Gunn inspired life story. And then with those plot leaks, we see that James Gunn, you know, showing how he gets attacked by internet haters on Superman. And guess who it's done by? Lex Luthor. So when I say something and you guys call it rage bait, I'm not rage baiting you, okay? I'm telling the truth. You guys don't believe it yet because you haven't seen it for your own eyes, okay? But I already know how it is. I know. James Gunn was never fit to run DC. He was never fit to write a Superman movie. James Gunn can only write himself. Point blank, period. We got some Doctor Strange. I don't own anything Doctor Strange. I would like to, but Doctor Strange is one of those characters I can't really get into. I want to, but I can't. Oh, this was exciting here. Spider-Man versus the Sleepwalker. I read something recently by I don't know his name. I recently found out about this character reading some Spider-Man. I want to say it was by who's that artist who draws Savage Dragon? I think he's like Eric Larson. I think. I don't know if Eric Larson is the artist on this. The Sleepwalker though is not a good character, but he's a good character in essence, meaning like so. The Sleepwalker is a hero. Basically, when like this particular guy goes to sleep, the manifestation of the Sleepwalker comes out, and when the guy wakes up, he just goes away. I don't know his powers. I don't really care. I bought it because Spider-Man was on the cover, and this, I mean, like, look at this cover. So I have an X-Men first issue #1. It's seemingly in great condition. I don't know if this is worth any money, but that's why I want to get it back and board for so I can preserve it. Jim Lee run X-Men #1. This is a #1 that I got for $1. I don't know if it's worth any money. I don't really care to sell my comics, but you know, in case I can and want to in the future, get these things preserved. I don't care about it being graded, just kept in good condition. And just able to read them, you know, throughout the millennia. More Superman. And also we got Mr. Miracle. Picked this up obviously because it had Mr. Miracle on it. Oh, we got some Jim Lee Wildcats. Don't know too much about the Wildcats. Don't have anything Wildcats. That'd be fun to have. Oh, there we go. Listen, I am not the biggest fan of Shadowhawk because I don't know the character, but I want to get into it, and I can't find anything Shadowhawk. I can't find a volume 1, an issue 1. I was contemplating like just reading it online, but I actually found a physical copy of Shadowhawk, and I'm so excited. This is probably my most prized possession right here in this entire lineup, Shadowhawk stuff. And I think this is issue #3. Yeah, issue #3. So I didn't find a #1. I didn't find and I went through like 5 boxes, and I only found 1 Shadowhawk book. So I'm glad to have this in my collection. It is so exciting to own. Ooh, we got an Avengers 200. Win a Toys R Us shopping spree. I don't think I have a Toys R Us in my area. It shut down a long time ago, and now the store itself turned into a buffet, which is pretty good. But you know, it's like a huge leap though between like Toys R Us and a Japanese buffet. But absolutely brilliant though. See, this is what I hate, man. You know, just beat up comics. Like again, just no respect for the craft, no respect for the medium as a whole, no respect for the hobby. Like I absolutely hate that. Yeah, we got some more Captain America. Oh yeah, I'm glad I found this. This is a Magneto from like 2003. I love how it's drawn. I think it's drawn by Joe Quesada. I definitely have to get this because I love Joe Quesada's artwork, at least like in the early 2000s stuff, especially his run on Daredevil. I own that as well, but just great. More Amazing Spider-Man. Love the classic Spider-Man look. Can't beat it. This is the first thing I actually picked up in inside the box was a Moon Knight comic. I love Moon Knight, especially some of the older stuff, which I haven't got to read. But I'm glad I found this as well. Adam Warlock versus Drax the Destroyer. Yeah, I picked this up. More space adventures. This is actually what Drax looks like, or did look like in the comics. I don't know too much about any of these characters, but I do know that Drax the Destroyer is a pretty powerful character. You know, he took on Thanos in the comics. Never even met him in the actual MCU, so whatever, picked it up. Dope. Spider-Man and the Vision. Again, more Spider-Man stuff. Glad I picked it up. More Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider. So you know I had to get it. And some more Superman. You got Hal Jordan and the scumbag Guy Garner. So that's pretty much it, guys. A whole bunch of stuff that I really grabbed and really enjoyed. We're getting back to more comic stuff. I know you guys want the comic videos, so I'm going to do that moving forward. Hope you guys enjoy. If you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more. Please don't forget to check out my story, Title Night of the Horizon. As always, it is linked in the description down below. Peace.